Hello, people. I'm so excited to introduce Fay. Welcome, Fay Ford.
Hello, hello.
Hello, darling. Love
Hi.
your entrance.
Oh, from
What
my
is
garden.
what is the space we're looking at?
Well, it's down in the bottom of my garden, and it's a lovely wooden studio that I've probably had for about 10 years now, and I live in it. If I can, I'm virtually here all the time. So yeah,
Fabulous. So
lovely.
fabulous. Thank you so much for attending, people for showing up. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. I'm very excited to chat with my gorgeous, fabulous artist, Faye.
Oh,
I'm jealous of this, the hair, the glasses, the hairband. We talked
oh,
about doing a hairband. It doesn't, I don't know. Maybe when you come visit me someday, you can help.
yeah, yeah.
How long have I
That
been
would
your
be good.
Okay, you style me.
Um,
How
yeah,
long
yeah. I could bring some extra ribbons for you and scarves and see how it goes. Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Type in where you are, people. Faye, how long have I been your agent?
I think we signed in about March, April, May time.
Okay,
And yeah, it's been a couple of months
relatively
and I'm getting
new.
used to the luxury.
Luxury,
Yeah.
yes. Well, let me introduce her formally. Faye is an illustrator with over 20 years experience as a textile designer. She lives near Oxford, England, surrounded by the English countryside alongside the River Thames. I mean, does that sound so quintessentially British? Faye is the only girl in a household of boys. Her two sons, oh, you're just all around boys. Her two sons are both
Yeah.
away at university, while Ewok and Yogi, her furry studio assistants, alternate between keeping her
Mm.
company and interrupting her flow whenever they think it's time for a walk. How adorable. Faye originally
Oh.
trained in textile design at Central St. Martin's School of Art and Design in London and has experience as an in-house designer at Designers Guild, which is one of my most favorite design firms, and Diane Harrison Design. As well as living in the UK, she spent several years in Seattle, in the USA.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
I knew that. That's
Oh, okay.
Lynn Gaines wants you to adopt her, by the way. Hello, Lynn.
Oh,
Faye now works in a wooden
I-
studio at the bottom of her garden, as we see, and when not designing, enjoys finding inspiration roaming the surrounding fields and riverbank and losing track of time in her beautiful, if very unruly garden. Well, welcome,
mm.
welcome, welcome. We're excited. We're
Hello.
going to
Hello,
be
everyone.
we're going to be looking at her a PowerPoint of her gorgeous work. I want to show you, and I'm not saying this is a way to get representation, but if the work is incredible, it's a way to get representation.
Oh,
I've showed it to some of you before. This is what Faye popped in the mail to me. Look at this with her art and a little personal note. And she sent me two booklets, one of adult work and one of children, that she just made. How did you make these? You talk while I show. How did you like?
oh yeah. I just chose my favourite pieces, the work that I really enjoyed doing, and I printed them out. And I spent a long time cutting and pasting and working out how it would flow as a book. And I really enjoyed doing it. And it took a lot of time, but I'm glad it was worth it. Yeah.
Gorgeous. And the thing is, I mean, let me explain how an agent looks at work. Okay. I know too, when I was an illustrator a million years ago, I would obsess over the order and flow of my portfolio, and like, oh my God, and you do want to start with something strong. But the reality is we flip through till we find something we're crazy about. So, like, honestly, your first spread is a bunch of little silhouettes, but once you started giving me the big scenes and the big full pages, and I particularly like the black line. Your line is so great, and that was early on, but it wasn't the first page. We go right to the pieces that we're crazy about. And really being an agent is sort of being an addict, because what we do is we hunger for our next rush, our next, like, oh my God, oh my God, look at that building. Oh my God, look at this, look at that. And then we look and we look and we go like, wow, oh my, oh, she can draw people too. Oh my God. And oh, look, and she can do this and food, and, and our minds race like we can license or get a license for this and all that. Well, that's how it goes. Now, let me tell you something. And then her children's book work. This she did in my makeartthatsells.com course. That's how I discovered her. She was in my courses for a while. And when I saw this, I'm like, not only can she draw people, but it's what I talked about. Are you all watching me on my Instagram live on the Make Art That Sells Instagram lives? I've started a new series called True Confessions of an Art Agent. And one of the things I talked about is like curating, picking. Like, she didn't look at this, like this guy. There's so much specificity to that guy. It's not just some guy, and all the people here are very curated and thoughtful. Their hair and the way they look, and the table and what's on it and the background scene. So, I love that. I love that. It wasn't just like, here's a table for a children's book of Grandpa's library of things. It had a real specificity. Look at these kids and the emotion and the freedom. She draws in a really loose way. Why? Because she has a lot of experience drawing, and you can't get loose on purpose, like by trying. You get loose by just drawing a ton. Am I right? I've been talking the whole time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah.
Tell us about it.
Oh yeah, so I've got one of those in the PowerPoint, but I was going to say, Lilla,
Yes.
here I've got all of my stuff that I do just to come up with the one image of the, of the grandpa, or I just, it, I'm looking at this as you're talking. It's like hundreds of tryouts and playing and mess and, and then eventually you get to one and think, yeah, that's the one. I want that little guy. And then you can start kind of progressing it. But that's what you teach us.
I'm so glad you're showing that, because, I was thinking today of wanting to talk at some point, not today, but another day, about like, eventually you get so good at your medium or your art that everything you do is good and it flows, and you get to the enjoyment part, and it's no longer like iffy, like you don't know if it's going to be a good piece or not. And even when you're doing those sketches, you know that you'll get to it. Like, you will get to the great guy and the great kid. Like, you know on some level, or you wouldn't put up with the abuse that we all have to deal with as creative people when we like the stuff is just difficult. We don't give up. Why didn't you give up when you were starting out? Why did you keep going?
So I mean, I love it. I just love drawing, and I love getting into a character and imagining that little world that they're in. And also I'd look at everybody else's work that was in the group, in the class, and I can remember my husband saying to me when I'd get a bit down that my work wasn't up to the standard, and he'd say that, you know, separate the standard from the style and aim for the standard, but do it in your way. And so I just kept practicing and practicing at what was me and trying to bring that out, but bring it to a better standard as I was doing it. So just kept going. And yeah, one day, you know, I want to make the children's book and get it published. So got to keep going with it.
It's the burning drive that keeps you motivated.
Yeah.
The love of making pictures. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I still, after all these years, I was messing around with watercolors this weekend. I was away in Western Massachusetts, and you know, when I did watercolors as an illustrator back in the 80s and 90s, the reason why I stopped is watercolors stunk back then. They really weren't vivid, and now they're so
Really?
vivid and rich. Yeah, they weren't that good. They were
Wow.
pale.
Wow. I love watercolor.
I love watercolor.
Yeah.
I'm having like a rebirth of them. Yeah. What watercolors do you
Uh,
use?
so I mean, I've got all my messy things. I normally work over there on that table, and it's normally covered in my paints and things. But I use the schminked ones, the ones in the little tin.
Oh, let's see.
So I use these.
Huh. Okay.
But my favourite are the ones that you get in the little tubes.
Okay.
And I'll just pop them, you know, I have them on a plate.
That's what
and
I
I'll
use.
just mix them. Yeah.
I use
And
a plate.
yeah, and I just will, you know, add the water and mix them up. Or that these are probably more the gouache, which I enjoy using. But yeah.
And we say gouache over here.
Gouache, oh yeah.
Gouache. I think gouache makes more sense because it is sort of gooey and
Gooey and
gooey.
Yeah. You can get it thick or thin, can't you? It's yeah.
Well, I mean, your colors are so vivid and so rich. And why don't you pop up your PowerPoint? Let's do it. Unless there's something else you wanted to say.
No, I'll
I'm
do
like,
that.
I'm
Let me
jonesing for the PowerPoint.
so screen share.
By
Okay.
the way, everybody, we're doing, do you want to, I know it's going to be small, but can you hold up what the giveaway is? We're doing a giveaway.
Oh yeah, let me so I've got two of my printed illustrated tea towels. There's a honeybee one and a pollinator one. So they're going to be the prize. Yeah.
So stay tuned for the giveaway. Marmac asks, will Faye be able to do any demos? Well, the camera's just set up this way, not overhead. But that's a cool idea for another time, isn't it? To do a demo.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Right. I'm just going to move that
up
there.
I know I'm jiggling things around. Okay.
Yeah.
So, so gorgeous.
Can you see it okay?
Yes,
is it all working?
Yes,
oh, good. Right. So this is me in my little world that I live in. Yeah, you can see Ewok and Yogi are there at the bottom of my table, which is where they've been banned from for this Zoom. I didn't want them in here, so I banned them. But yeah, I live in along right by the River Thames, so I'm always getting inspired along there and seeing the wildlife, and yeah, it's a beautiful place to live. But I put this page in because I think it shows a story And I love illustrating children's stories, but I also really enjoy doing a more adult where you've got a lot of interest on one page. So yeah,
I
this is
love that you have, you know, the big image of yourself in your setting, but you've got like the bridge and the birds and the flowers and a pink bottle and the dogs. Like there's so much variety and change of scale. Lots of little, like, yeah, little, Christina says, so amazing, like little snippets of your mind and your day.
yeah,
Yeah, that's so true. That's beautiful.
yeah,
Okay.
great. Shall I go on?
Yes, please.
If I can.
I
Let
love
me.
the bird on your head, says
Oh
Annette.
yeah. Right, I've just got to work
Oh,
what I'm doing here.
that's it.
Haha. Okay.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so I think you should, I mean, your children's book course is always my favourite, and I'm so glad it's coming up again. I
Yes.
don't know how many times I've done it, but I've loved each one. Um, and like I showed you, a lot of work goes behind all each, you know, the emotions and the the movement and everything. But yeah, I enjoy it. And the thing that I loved about this one was my character became a bit of an Elvis fan. So I had the music on while I nearly on repeat, just kind of going round and round. And I just, whenever I look at this character now, I just think of, you know, dancing around the studio to the music. Yeah.
Fantastic. How did you get so good at drawing poses of people, which many of us find difficult?
Well, can you see over there? I've got a mirror, a big mirror.
Yes.
And that is invaluable because I will do the pose that I'm wanting to get. And then my poor teenage sons who would, well, they're not teenage, one's 22 and 19. The amount of times I've said, hold up this melon or, you know, reach for I don't know,
Oh,
the
that's great.
bird in the thing, and they just despair. But you need to be able to see it being done.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was probably
Okay,
one of them dancing there. Yeah.
fantastic. And then for a child, you have to sort of squish it down to child's proportions from your
Yeah.
teachers. From your,
Yeah. Oh
to,
yeah, 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 definitely.
yeah, it's
Um,
fabulous.
Great.
Okay.
And then of course this one that you talked about, but it's all the little details like the Colin the caterpillar cake and
The what?
um the Colin the caterpillar cake. Here they have it in England. I don't know if they have it in America, but
I,
it's a very famous cake that a lot of people want on their birthday table. So he featured, and then
oh,
yeah, and
cool.
the little dog with the wheels. But they're
Yeah.
the bits that I enjoy adding in all the extras that kids might find fun to find, or
Hmm.
yeah.
And I love
So
the diversity of the kids. The girl in a motorized chair, you know, different skin tones of all different kinds. Um,
yeah,
that's pretty great.
great. And this was, I know you're running it again, the a new version, aren't you, or of the
Uh,
redrawing
Rejoining
black?
Black History with
Yeah,
Tamisha. Yeah, Tamisha's
I,
doing that. Yes.
I mean, what a course! The work that came out of that course was incredible. Everyone, I
Everyone.
loved it.
I
But
agree. And
this
she's
was my
doing a new
favourite.
a new woman, a new black woman, creative woman from history. Oh, I don't know
Oh,
if she's still alive, but anyway, yep,
oh,
yep. And I just
one,
looked at what she's gonna show, so that's
oh
exciting.
yeah, I'll be in. But yeah, so that was from that course, which I love.
That's beautiful.
And then this is a little, the little Lilla,
Yep,
which I think was it a Matt's prep or
something,
a,
yeah, something like that.
I think you shared a photo on
Oh right.
Instagram or something, and we had to draw it. But I've put this one in because I really enjoyed doing it, but it then led me on to the next one. That shall I flip to it?
So before you do, if you can go back 1 second, I just want to point out to everyone this again, the specificity, like the on the left in the center, that purple thing holding the supplies with the stitching on the hanger, on the hanger on the spools thing about bobber. And then if you go down to the bottom left, you have the spools of ribbons. You know, it's like your detail is so interesting to look at. Yes, her style is gorgeous. Yes, her color palette is beautiful. Her line quality is stunning. Her design, her characters, everything. But also, you want to keep looking. Okay, I'll stop.
Next one. That's nice. Nice to hear. Yeah, and then this, like I said, I love doing the children's, but I love doing adult stuff as well. And it just, when I was doing the little Lilla one, I then wanted to make a big, not Lilla, but a big, a kind of the dressmaker page. So it's a personal piece that I really enjoyed doing. So yeah.
I also love your use of black and rich, dark tones. You're not just all pale. You're pale, you're dark. You use the whole sort of the Ansel Adams, what was the word for his photography style? Where he used the whole range from white to deep blacks. And you do that. It's stunning. Cool.
Yeah, I think that's my husband's favorite photographer. He did photography degree. So yeah.
What your black line, what tool do you use for like the words the dressmaker and the other black line?
That, I mean, I'm probably did that in fact, here's the artwork that I did for that piece. And so the dressmaker.
The pen, dip pen?
No, I think, oh, maybe it was. Oh no, it was just kind of pencil marks. Pencil, can you see that? A kind of
it's
little yeah, it's just pencil there.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, so the other black line, what do you use?
I use the ink and a dip pen.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that's probably my go-to for mark making.
Oh wait, tell me the name.
It's called Kandahar, Kandahar, drawing ink, and it's just an Indian black ink.
Kandahar. I just dropped my fountain pen because it was misbehaving. Did I wreck the nib?
Oh no! Oh, that's annoying.
No, I don't think I did. It's good, it works. It's the Ultraflex. It's very finicky.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Kandahar black ink. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a drawing waterproof ink.
Okay.
But I like that one. And I just use a normal dip pen that's a bit scratchy, but I like it.
Well, do you find, I have to ask you a question about a dip pen. My dip pens I never clean because I find the black ink on them holds the ink better than the brand new ones. Even if you wash them with soap and water, it just slides off. Am I doing something?
Yeah, I've never washed it.
And are yours like black and
yeah, they're great. I always I've got a few nibs, but he's my faithful one. That one.
We'll have to look at that close up when we're done. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, a question. Is everything traditional media and then you scan it in and Photoshop to move everything around?
Yeah. Yeah, I do everything on cartridge paper or even printer paper, and put it all together in Photoshop.
Wait a minute. You do these watercolors on like basic printer paper?
Well, no, I use more of a cartridge paper for any watercolor
What's
that I
cartridge
do.
paper?
Like
That watercolor paper?
it's just a heavy duty. So it's this. I go like a heavy duty cartridge.
Like we don't know what I don't know what
Uh
cartridge.
it's
Is that
200.
Oh, okay.
It's just like a thick yeah, watercolor, I guess.
Okay. A
Yeah,
watercolor, sort of
yeah,
some kind of thick art paper. Okay.
yeah,
Because I was gonna
yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah.
get those colors and that beautiful watercolor on freaking paper.
No,
Okay.
no. But I do my black ink work on cartridge on printer paper sometimes. So
Wow.
it bleeds a bit and I
I
get the
agree.
smudging. So yeah, I like it for that.
I
Yeah.
agree. Sometimes I like the crappiest paper for
Yeah.
that. It just, yeah,
Yeah. You get all the marks and the
bleed. Yeah.
smudges. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So um so
Oh,
I've put this
I'm
one
sorry,
up.
one more question.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
cartridge paper, is it cold press or hot press?
Well, I'm
Bumpy?
not
Bumpy
sure.
or
It's
smooth?
not, it's smooth. It's
Okay,
smooth.
smooth. Okay.
Yeah, very smooth. I have got some thicker watercolor paper, but I prefer the
Mm.
smooth one.
This foxglove, I want to like dye. It's so beautiful.
Uh, well, this was from I had a lovely project last year, which was to do 3 or 4 murals in a retirement kind of complex, a brand new they were building, and they wanted these murals to go outside the elevator areas and around the walls, so that each floor people knew they were coming out on the right, whether they were on the second floor it was all birds, and on the ground floor it was the river and these animals and thing. So we really enjoyed that project, and it was with Flipper Interiors, and yeah, great project. But I enjoy doing all these, but then it also leads me on into other projects and things that I can do with it, like I'm obviously going to want to do patterns and cards, and because that's my first love, I guess. So it's nice to be able to take elements, because I've got them in Photoshop, and be able to play around with them in different layouts and add other things. And
Love it.
yeah,
I would love to see you do a happy birthday of imagery that's birthday related. Speaking as your agent,
yeah.
it's going to be harder for us to sell a porcupine or hedgehog on your
Oh
birthday
yeah,
because we're not British, so we don't get it. The
oh
other
yeah,
sweet pea, that is nice. That is thinking of you. I'm not sure I'd leave out the foxes and just
yeah.
the florals. Now those beautiful
Okay,
boxes are great for the repeat pattern for fabric.
brilliant. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've written a note, Lilla.
Greeting cards tend to be generic and broad, so that a
Ooh,
birthday
bless you.
cake, flowers, but not a character so much, generally.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's good. Good to know. Great.
Yes.
Okay, right. And oh,
Whoop.
and this was the mural that I did in their entrance
Oh my
hall.
God. I want
But
to be there.
yeah, but I just love when I do illustrated maps and things to add in all the little extras.
Gorgeous.
The people and the flowers and the buildings, but everything I like.
I love this. Now, here's what I want from you. And it's this people listening, it's almost like you're sitting in on a
Yeah,
conversation I'd have with Fay privately.
Yeah.
I want you to get a fabric line, and you either have to do a major recognizable city or a number of cities, like, the vintage scarf, like New York, Rome, Paris.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do a bunch of them.
Oh, that would be
This is
great.
too specific for, it's great for what you did, but sorry, folks.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to do that.
Or you could
Yeah.
do anything that's less town specific.
Yeah. I think I'd love to do that, and it's something that I need in my portfolio. So that'd be a good one to go on to next, I think. Yeah. So this one, I guess, is a London-based, like a children's one, that I did around all the main buildings around there. But it just really shows the variety of doing an older sort of map, editorial maybe more, and this one that's more like cute and got all the characters in there and the recognisable buildings of London. So
Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely make a note to do different cities, and some are the obvious ones and some could be not super obscure, but maybe secondary, Oslo or something.
Yeah. I'll get my list going.
And multicultural if you can. I know I must be having bad allergies. Well, flowers.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But multicultural places too, like somewhere in maybe South America and Latin America and Africa and Asia, mix I think would freshen up. So take away what I said about Paris, New York, Rome.
So
fashion.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. That's lovely. So this piece, I think, was from boot camp last year, I think, and you got it was the mini, which are always so good because they give you a great start, and then you go off onto your adventure with the main one, but you've got that beginning, haven't you? It's good. So this one was more of an editorial type, and then I took it into a more of a children's book page. I think that was the brief.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So again, all bringing in the characters that are sort of very relational to one another. So yeah, it's good. And then the great toy course. I'm showing you all the courses I've done here, Lilla, over the years. But yeah, this one, I really struggled with this one at the beginning of just doing more of a 3D, working in 3D, which I hadn't done before. But the minute I could do the characters more, I got into it and started to enjoy it. And then I enjoyed this one.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you. And this one was we were doing the board books in character play, which probably lots of people that are watching have done. And I just took the board book ideas, the little characters that we made, and put it into using it as for more of a children's party range. So yeah, just I like doing the pattern and dotting them around. So yeah, but this piece, we had a little chat after I'd worked on my board book, and I really remember you telling me about how you wanted me to be fully Fay, and not just to do I think the brief, because I was reading it, is very much a graphic, you know, board book, and that's actually not me, but I was trying to fit my work into that. And the minute you gave me the confidence and the freedom to say no, be fully you, I then started to really enjoy it and got into adding the messy backgrounds and the so that was a great help, really.
Yes, I think you did it, Faye. That's nice.
Thank you. This is a bit different from the Artie book course that you ran recently, and I think I changed my topic about 3 or 4 times going through the course, which I think quite a few people did as they developed
Absolutely
the idea. And it was a great course to kind of really think through a project and what you really liked about it. So this was one of the pages from it. And then I've just taken lots of the images, and I thought this might make a nice puzzle idea. So a really full, colourful puzzle. So there's lots of details in there.
I love this, and what I want you to do, these are all the animals are on layers.
Yeah.
I want them to pop more from the background. That's what puzzle people want.
Okay, that's good. Maybe a darker.
Or lighter. Well,
yeah.
Tricky, or make less busy. Maybe more solidish water a bit, but not solid. And then the seaweed and the shells along the edge.
Yeah.
Bottom, I love that.
Yeah.
Because
that would be good.
Think of when you do a puzzle, you need to clearly see the objects. For us to license it as a puzzle, there's so much blue texture that it would be very difficult to know, is it for the whale or the dolphin or that whale or that fish or the fin, you know, so
it would be a nightmare, wouldn't it?
It would be a nightmare. It's a gorgeous piece, but I think a simple change
Yeah,
will
yeah.
make a difference. Now, for even if this were for a book interior on underwater wildlife, you would still want to be able to delineate the creatures just by changing the background a little.
Yeah, that's a great tip.
And
I
that
can do
said,
that.
what you have on the bottom with the seaweed and the starfish and shells and tropical fish, that I could see being beautiful for scarves, for bolt fabric, for just so many things. Hey, Greg. Wow, this one image could launch a dozen niche projects. Yeah.
Thank you.
If you do this piece or a piece like it and label each creature with lettering, clear lettering, and it's a more sort of scientific read. It's a fantastic way to get a nonfiction book for any age, really, as long as a very clear read. Maybe it's on white background, you know what I'm saying, and we know, okay, this is the blue such and such whale or the sperm whale or whatever it is, and maybe it's so many pounds, like this is 2 tons and the angelfish is 3 ounces. Like that could be nice.
That's
You could just list
great idea. Yeah, brilliant. I'll make a note of that too. I'm getting a good review here, Lilla.
Oh my God.
Well, thank you.
Having our little one-on-one.
Yeah, I like this.
I want to speak to the viewer. She's got the gorgeous art, and sometimes it's tweaking the appropriateness for the market.
Yeah. I'm learning so much already, just having those tips that you give out. So thank you. Yeah. So this the boulangerie, yeah, I was in Paris last year. I always love when I go somewhere to then be inspired. I always come back and want to produce something of things that I've seen and little sketches I've done. And I know the lettering course is coming up, so in
Yes.
France, and I'm on it. Yay!
Oh my
I,
God, I'm so
I,
excited. Oh,
me
there's one
too. Me
spot
too.
left.
Oh wow! Yeah, come along, everyone.
Oh, I'm so glad you're going to be there. You could
Yeah.
probably teach the thing. Um,
No, no, that's one area that I'd really like to work on, my lettering. So I thought it would be a great holiday, but also I'm sure I'll learn a lot. So yeah, it's a piece there.
um, I just have to say Greg is going as well. Yay, Greg. And
Oh, that'd be
Greg,
nice.
what was that joke you made? I told my husband yesterday what you said. You said, what was that? It was a play on words of the French thing. When we type it in. Please take tons of pics. We will. Faye, will
Yeah.
you? I want to get to Paris like 3 or 4 days early for the time change.
Oh,
So can we talk privately later? Oh yeah, we've got nothing to lose. We've got nothing to lose. Yes, it's in Toulouse.
oh,
Thank you, Greg. That was,
oh yeah.
I want you every day to do at least one Gregism.
Oh,
Okay, it's going to be so great.
oh yeah. I look forward to meeting Greg.
Yeah, I did when I was down south. So if you can tell me where to stay in Paris and
Oh,
where
okay. I'll
to,
have a think.
yes, any tips you have, oh my God, that would be gold.
Okay, brilliant.
I haven't
Yeah.
been there since I was 16.
Oh,
Prime.
oh, yeah, that'd be great. Um, so this was a runner-up in a picture hook competition on friendship, and yeah, I just really enjoyed doing this one.
You know what I want
Yeah.
to say about this too, that I love? So many people do darker skin, but do it as one color. And I'm like, look at brown, black, caramel colored skin. Like white people have delineation. We've got shadow, pink cheeks, if we're lucky, lips, and so forth. And what you did with her color, the brown
Mm,
girl, is so
mm.
gorgeous.
Oh,
A
thank
beautiful
you.
color. And I love to see that.
Thank you.
Just
Yeah,
look at people. That's your
yeah.
answer. Look at different tones of people, and that's your answer. I love
Mm.
it. I love her sneakers on the right.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
the
Great.
pants. I'm dying.
And yeah, and this yeah, it was from a toddler group at our church. They wanted some big banners, and there were and I've realised I've got now two pictures with red hair children in. I'm obviously flying the flag for the redheads. But yeah, and these were some of the characters that were part of the banner. And yeah, I enjoyed that.
Great.
And then this is the final one, just the little Lenny character that a lot of people have been doing in the character boot camp.
Oh my
And
God. Oh,
yeah, and so I'm ending with him who needs to go on an adventure now. And yeah,
this is not a departure, but a continuation for you. It's very stylized, the hair and the softness of the cheeks and the fur, the way you've interpreted the fur, it's really, really good. Make sure we can read the mouth. We need to delineate
yes,
the mouth and the nose. The features must be read at a glance,
yeah.
not so much. That's all you need to change. It is freaking gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, maybe I can move the mouth off the dark so it shows up a little bit more off the
Give it color,
yeah, or a
you
little
know,
line. Yeah,
both, even
yeah,
like a
yeah,
shirt,
yeah,
like the lettering. That's fun.
yeah. Oh,
The
good,
leader. Yeah,
good.
she wrote a great story, didn't she?
Oh, it was brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Shall
great.
I stop the share, Lilla?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah,
Yes,
there we
please.
go. Thank you.
Wow, that has been so great. Does anybody have any questions? Put them in the Q&A. It's so nice to see so many familiar faces. So what's your dream? Tell me 3 dream projects,
Mm,
1 to 3 dream projects.
okay.
I think I know.
Well, I obviously you're going to get the anthropology, a
Right.
fabric range, and a
Perfect for you.
ceramic range, and all those kinds of things. I would love. It's my favourite shop to go in, so I'd love to see my work in there one day. That would be
Yeah.
a dream.
And what you want to do is florals.
Yeah,
You want to do, you could do different interesting locations like we talked about,
yeah,
but your watercolor is so gorgeous and they really do care about beautiful painting and line
yeah.
work. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that would definitely be a top one. I would love to do anything on nature books. Um, the adult, an older one or a kid's one, like that Flowers to Spot on 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 the Flowers to Spot with the the page that had the yellow iris on, the flag
I was
iris.
thinking those whales and all that sea creature stuff.
Well, so that I see is the adult one, and then the children's book version with the Flowers to Spot on the walk, with the little characters. That would be a lovely project
Oh,
too.
the flowers is the adult one.
No,
Oh,
I think you might have been having a little cough at that point when I was showing it
oh,
on
sorry.
the PowerPoint. It's let me see if I
I
got
know
it.
the yellow flower one.
I'll show you it.
I know
Uh,
I can't believe I think I've been talking so much today.
yeah,
I
it's that one
Oh yeah, that one.
with the little flowers to spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to do something that children could enjoy, walking along the river or some nature themed
Like your book, yeah. Well,
themed
if
book.
you do those fish or anything like that, but I do like the different kinds of the sea creatures.
Yeah,
And as I said, where it's very clear to identify, I think that will show our clients that you can do uh, animals and sea creatures and so forth for a nonfiction book for different ages.
yeah,
So I think
yeah,
there's that. Yeah, and then the nonfiction
yeah.
spotting. The
Good.
only problem with that is, and I love that book idea, is what if I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico with cacti? Like, no publisher wants a book that's regional, except
Yeah,
small, tiny regional publishers. We don't really deal with that, but
yeah,
it
yeah,
needs something that's broad.
yeah,
See, that's my only thing. Unless
yeah.
I'm missing the point.
To be honest, it could be any area. I would just love to do, if it was the Amazon rainforest or something like that, I would, do my research on that and love
Right.
doing that.
Well,
So it's just looking into an area of nature and plants and all of that I'd really enjoy
yeah. We'll definitely have to
doing.
talk about that. Oh, Lynn has a question, an industry question for fabric and painterly art. Is there a way to prepare the art? We've never had, I don't remember or think we've ever had our artists need to prepare the art, if you mean like technically in any way, Lynn.
Yeah.
Usually it's
I
just
mean,
full color.
yeah. I normally do my files where everything's on a layer. So if a person wanted to change a colour of something, it would be easy to do. But they are painted as whole objects rather than divided up into.
You're not doing like separating CMYK layers.
No.
Like
No.
Pantone color. Yeah. No, you just paint your pictures.
Yeah.
Greg says, I can see your work in education museums, arboretum, zoos. Yes.
Oh, yeah. That'd be nice.
Oh, Christine says you could do a regional flower map for different locations. Yeah. Well, I think if you want to do flowers, what's really good is like the medicinal properties of wildflowers.
Oh, yeah.
You know, something that everyone can kind of enjoy looking at and maybe use as a resource, but things like that. Or it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you use as an activity or
Yeah, yeah.
a guidebook.
Yeah.
You know what I think would be cool, and I don't know if clients would go for this, but you know the old rocks and minerals guidebooks, the little
Oh, yes.
rocks and like I don't know, would that be really hard to illustrate? But how cool to do rocks and gems, like gems of the world.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't spend a lot of
Wow.
time on that.
Wow.
Maybe it's like a spread,
Yeah.
like a couple spreads. Yeah.
Yeah. See where it goes.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah, and see if you can dig up some maybe like gems of the world,
Yeah.
what they,
Yeah.
you know, they're sort of like crystals, I guess. Yeah, I guess you could do crystals.
Yeah. And,
Anyway,
or fossils or something like that, maybe.
maybe.
Yeah.
I think for you, the more fem it is, the better. So
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah. I do enjoy that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
not,
Put a bit of pink in there or yeah.
just the most sort of
Yeah. I'd also love to do some.
what?
I'd also love to do some packaging, like of you know, the bottles of wine or the soap packaging, or you know, things like that. I'd love that as a project.
It's really hard to get. It's very rare, and it just happens serendipitously. Like just as you're more and more known and out there and so forth, then you might get a call. But it's just not that
Yeah.
common. I don't know. You know, usually they go to designers and designers design. And yeah, it's just rare. So sorry.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
try, but
You never know.
yeah, in the how long have I
Yeah.
so let's see, I've been an agent almost 30 years. And before that, for about 15 years, 12, 15 years, I was an illustrator. And I must have gotten some packaging in my day. But and I'm trying to think of my artists. I'll have to think about that. But it's not common.
Yeah.
Not to be discouraged.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it won't
No,
happen.
no,
But I know, like
no.
every illustrator, oh, I want to do a beautiful package with like flowers
Yeah.
and
I know. It's because we're always
bottles.
drawn to them. Yeah, I know. Because that's what we pick up off the soap. Pick up a lovely package, don't we?
Oh, I know what we've done. Chocolate packaging. Chocolate
Oh,
packaging. Yeah.
oh, nice.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
I have some clients for that. So yeah. That's
Yeah,
something.
fun.
That's something.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, does anybody have any? Oh, wait, some more questions. So we answered Lynn. I thought tech could do that these days. That's right. And Sean asks, do you work at 1-to-1 scale or do you scale down the work after it's scanned in? Don't really understand.
I mean, I tend to work on A4 print, size because my scanner is A4, and then I'll either blow it up or reduce it depending on what I need it for.
So,
Um,
so your file size is like A4, 8.5 by 11 kind of thing? Generally,
yeah, or
when you scan it in your Photoshop doc, that's just normal
so
size.
I will do it whatever I need for. If it's a fabric, I might do a really large. If it's a furnishing type fabric, it
Right.
might be, I don't know, 64 by 64, like a big one. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, just scan it in at 300 DPI so you have high res and make your file 300.
yeah.
Okay, giveaway time. Boom. So here's how we do
Oh,
the giveaway.
okay.
Hold up the scarf. Hold up the scarf. Look at me wearing a sweater
Yeah.
in Boston in September.
Uh,
Cold today and rainy.
so this is the pollinators one,
So beautiful.
and this one's the honeybee.
Love. Okay, beautiful. So here's how we do this. We are going to say a category. You are going to guess as many times as you want and as often. And the first one that we see, it may not necessarily be the first correct answer, but the first one that we see is the winner, and you get what you get and you don't get upset. And then we will tell you, the winner, how to contact us. Okay. I love the guesses already. Ahana, that's great. The category is flower. A flower. A flower.
Ooh.
And you can guess as often as you want. Oh, Annette. Annette Krause, Dahlia. Ding.
Oh yeah,
Okay, Annette.
yeah.
There it is. So right,
Yeah.
info at LillaRogers.com. I was trying to think if it was Matt's or Lilla. Okay, yeah. Info at LillaRogers.com. Say you won the tea towel, and we'll pass it on to Fay, who will then send it to you.
Yeah.
And yay.
Brilliant. Well done.
Well done. And a reminder
Yeah.
to sign up for the illustrating children's book starts October 9th. That's how I discovered Fay. And she took it several times and got so good I had to take her. It was absolutely just had to. And don't forget, one spot left. Join us in France for lettering. And I made a deck of cards for each person in a pretty silk pouch. And it's also Ask Lilla anything about your career, and I will help everybody as much as I can, and great meals and side trips. So that's uptrek.com, and just search for Lilla. So I think that's all the sales talk. Oh, Creative Bug. Don't forget, get over to Creative Bug, because my writing classes, they're writing for artists. Just search for Lilla and that will come up. It just launched. And I really love that course. I have to admit, it's going to be very useful. And I show books that are appropriate. I show like 30, probably 35 different books on one with each video, one or two, on different kinds of books that illustrators can write with just a little bit of text. And the reason is, this is great for next year for the course I teach on, the two courses I teach on writing, which is my arty book course for adults and my kid book pitch, which is writing kid books for kids. Okay, so there's all my sales pitches. I'm a busy girl. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Fay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
I knew we'd have fun today. It just was so great.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
It was great, wasn't it? Thanks so much for showing your work. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. We really appreciate it. And don't forget, one more thing. Thursday on, it is Make Art That Sells Instagram. Yeah, I told you this in the beginning. Don't forget the it's free. I just talk on Thursdays and answer questions. I'm going to put a post today on Instagram, and you can add any questions that you have on that post, and then I will answer them Thursday. And questions need to be posted by Wednesday night Eastern time. Okay. And Marmac, yes, this will be available as a recording later. Yeah, Brenda, I hope you like Thursdays with Lilla. Oh, yeah, like Maury.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Faye. We will talk soon. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank
See
you.
you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.